Time to vlog today. Hopefully this works because I actually already made this once and it didn't work. Okay, let's try this again. I haven't vlogged in a long time. I've only done two real ones in a long time. I think I did the cool in quotation marks, why being cool isn't that cool, and I did the why being the best version of yourself is kind of ruined me. So refer to those two videos if I talk about those topics, even though I'll probably repeat myself. This is going to be a long one because I'm going to talk about a lot of different things. I'm going to talk about how I kind of realized the past couple of years that I've been giving up on life, which let me just get into that first. That doesn't mean I'm about to kill myself. I'm not trying to say that kind of thing, because I mean, my brother just tried to kill himself recently. My dad, he killed himself. That's a pretty weird story. I told him he was going to die. He took the gun and he shot himself anyway. In general, throughout my life, a lot of my family members, they've seemed to have some kind of like obsession with like death, like wanting to die. Grandma's always talking about how great it is to die. It's going to be amazing when you die, Clayton. And then mom tried to get me to kill myself before. My mom's always talking about, whatever, dude. Like, but, and I've talked about this before, but the whole dying thing has never been that interesting to me because I've had a pretty bad life growing up and getting sick. And when you're sick, it's like, dude, I don't want to die. Being sick sucks. Like, I don't want to die, dude. That's not cool. I don't believe there's anything else waiting for us. So dying is dumb. Not interested in that. But anyway, so yeah, talking about but I've been feeling like I've been giving up on life a lot, and I've stopped caring about a lot of things. And I want to talk about how I got to that point. I want to talk about the feeling of being disingenuous and the convenience of perspective. So those are some of the things I'm going to be talking about. And this is going to be long, so whatever. Sometimes people ask me to vlog. This is going to be a long one, right? I haven't done one in a long time. So how did I get to this point of stopping caring and feeling like I've been giving up on life? Well, of course, that's been going on for a while. Especially because I feel like, especially after this lupus kind of crap started happening, like, it was about 5 years ago now or something, all these rashes, and then I had this, then the collapsing was happening a few years ago, where health was taking a big turn for worse, people were helping take care of me on and off, and, man, that was a bad time. I mean, I can tell you, scary to the point, it's like, man, I don't even know if I'll be able to jack off again, right? I mean, let alone have sex with someone, I don't know if I'm ever to be able to jack off again. Things were bad. For like 4 months there, things were real scary again. So I just feel like after health was just continuing, so many years now to get worse, no matter what I did, just you start to care less and less, right? So that's one of the main things. It's been growing and growing, right? And even this lupus. This is why I don't even like looking at myself a lot of the time, because I can just see it and it just I don't like looking at myself already. But besides that, another thing is that vlog I made about I realized that being the best version of myself had destroyed me. Growing up a nerd, and I grew up very unpopular. And but I always, you grew up a nerd, you grew up wanting to be a hero, watching anime, whatever. I was watching, and you think you're doing good things, but then you realize that what you think is good isn't necessarily good, right? And I'm going to be getting into this a lot, like the convenience of perspective. What you might think is nice at a time, to be nice, the other person has to view it as nice. Otherwise, it's just like a selfish act, right? And that's again when I was in the hospital, with all that dying crap going on. It was like, if I'm gonna die, I don't want anyone to ever think I'm a bad person. Not that I was like a terrible person before, but you know what I mean. Even made that urge even stronger to be a super super fucking moral person. And when I talk about being nice too, when I use the word being nice, again, I've always said this in all my vlogs. When I talk about being nice, I'm not talking about being nice where it benefits you sexually, benefits you socially, or benefits you in terms of money. I'm talking about being nice when you only do it for what you think is right, which is, again, from one perspective, a negative perspective. I think that's selfishness, right? But that's what I'm talking about being nice when I talk about being nice. I'm not, a lot of times, I guess, right? I'm not talking about just being nice like when someone sees you being nice, right? I'm talking about being nice when it doesn't actually benefit you. The only benefit you get from being nice is that you think it's the right thing to do. And whatever the case, I realized being the best version of Clayton Chapman, it had fucking destroyed me. It had just completely ruined my life and other things. So yeah, let's get into this. And I realized that I'd always come off as a disingenuous person, like, and again, giving up because I'd realized no matter what I do in life, I will always, because of how I look now, come off as a disingenuous person. And like, there'll always be that convenience of perspective to assume I'm a bad person. Again, I grew up very unpopular, rocks thrown at my face, girls telling me I'm ugly in front of everyone in class. I remember, geez, when I think it was the last day of seventh grade, I remember like a couple girls literally came up to me and like, yeah, we just want to tell you how ugly you are. Like right before the summer break, and it's like, wow, that's like the last thing that was said to me during school, dude. It's just like, and then of course I grew up a nerd, and a lot of people, I don't look like I play video games or make any of these video game videos that I do, but then I guess I got a job as a model, and people think I look cool now sometimes, but now people always think that I'm like, not always, but there's that perspective to think that, a convenience of perspective to think I'm a douchebag, even though I'm still the same person as I was before. Now when I do, say if I was doing nice things before, I'm doing nice things because who cares? No one would like me anyway, right? Now if I'm doing nice things, it's because, maybe I'm trying to get something out of it, right? Like he's not actually nice. He's just doing it to get something. I don't know, right? So again, disingenuous, right? And I just realized I'm going to talk about a lot of social aspects too. This is going to be a long one, right? Again, like say I wrote down some things like maybe topics or little things I'll get up into. Like I just thought about all the weird experiences. I am not fucking making this video again. I don't know what the fuck is going on with my camera, but it keeps shutting off randomly. I'm not making this video again. I'm just going where I left off. Anyway, so I wrote some like examples. I'm just gonna, of things that I just realized what a bizarre life I've had that has like made me give up on life. You know what I mean? And when I talk about these things too, of course, I admit I've had an extreme life. My life is not normal. I'm not a normal person per se. So I admit that in all the strange situations that I'll mention, for examples, the common denominator, common problem ultimately is me in a sense, right? That is the common denominator, right? But at the same time, you know what I mean? It's kind of like there's a thought you just, I don't know, like a fish doesn't know it's in the water, right? Like I know I'm in the water, I know I'm in shit, but there's just nothing I seem to be able to do about it. I can't get out of the water. I don't know. What I do? I'm not making this fucking video again, dude. This is fucking insane. So anyway, let's talk about things that I just examples like social. Let's talk about like girl and guy situations, right? Weird things. Again, I grew up a nerd. I grew up, girls telling me I'm ugly in class, getting rocks thrown at my face, and such an extreme switch, right? And now I'm viewed as, sometimes people think I'm really cool for no reason, or I'm just a huge douchebag for no reason. It doesn't matter what I do. It doesn't matter how nice I am. And again, I don't think I'm a super, maybe cliche what other people think I'm nice, but in terms of morally kind and just, I consider myself a very nice person in terms of morals, right? Like not a super nice in some ways, but morally nice, what I consider nice, when it does not benefit you to be nice, just doing it to be nice, whatever, which is still in a sense nice, I guess, right? But hopefully you get what I'm saying. So just such a bizarre contrast and weirdness of my life. I mean, you could think, you know, God, I should probably post videos of these sometimes. I went my life now. I've had, God, the mall was being robbed a couple of years ago. I have a video of it, and mall was being robbed. A girl came up to me. She thought that there was such a big crowd because she thought that I was like an actor or something like that, and everyone was asking for my autograph. You know what I mean? I have pictures of girls, a group of girls before, coming up to me asking for my autograph. That other stuff happens before, stuff like that. I get banned from websites now for stealing a celebrity's pictures. My pictures have been stolen on the internet so many times. I reached a level where socially that girls will not just come up to neg me though sometimes. Like not even just a neg. Sometimes I actually have girls come up to me and just be an asshole to me. And I remember this was an example. Was this last year or a couple years ago? And this happened in front of multiple people. Uh, this girl came up to me and she's like, "Yeah, I just want to tell you no." And I was like, "What?" And she's like, "I just want to tell you no. This is probably the first time you've ever heard that, though, right? No." And I just try to be nice to her and just like, not even just like negging me. People sometimes now just come up to me and be an asshole to me for no reason, right? And I've talked about this before. I realized that becoming cool in quotation marks is a lot like when I was very unpopular. It's just that now, because there's still random people that are super dicks to me for no reason, but now there's some good in it, I guess. Sometimes people are nice to me for no reason, but man, some people are like so fucking like shitty to me for no reason. I mean, I realized that I'd come to a social point where I used to have this line that I would go to girls sometimes. I'd say like, "How charming do I have to be to get into the friend zone?" That was one of my lines, right? And I had seen that a couple of girls, I ended up having to stop saying stuff like that because a couple of girls like, "What? You think you're too good for me? What? You think you're so cool? Blah blah blah." And it's like, dude, like that was obviously like my opener. Like, what are you talking about? I like, what do you mean? I said how charming do you have to be to get in front of? Oh, so you think we would only ever be friends? You think you know what I mean? So I had realized that because I'm still the same person that I was when I was younger. And it's like, what is going on? Like, do people really think that I am that cool now? You know what I mean? And one of the other things, God, I don't know if I should say this because she watches my vlog, right? God, I had that, technically, I know girls that have been fucking movies and like, whatever, like Hollywood kind of girls, that spilled their spaghetti in front of me. You know what I mean? Oh, God, I've done some other weird things. God, fucking, you know, I had two girls actually do this before, maybe more than that. I just don't know. I had girls that, God, this girl, one girl we were hanging out, and she told me she had to get drunk just to see me. And God, I flirted with her a bit, and she basically threw up. And she was like, I just couldn't believe that someone like you would ever flirt with me, that kind of thing. It's like, dude, what the fuck? She like threw up, dude. Like, I had that effect on somebody. That is so fucking stupid. I shouldn't say that's stupid. It was a very fucking sweet compliment. It's fucking awesome that I can even say something so fucking bizarre. Two girls that has happened before. I had girls that cried before when I talked to them, like, and so I don't want to get into all the fucking just crazy shit that like people have done for me before, like nice wise. But here's the thing. Then I realized that go to another layer, then you're disingenuous, right? Because it's like, wow, Clayton, you have all these weird things happen to you, and like girls hear these stories, and maybe girls have seen like maybe my Snapchat when people have come up to me and asked for my autograph, or they hear whatever, just different stories, and they're like, wow, you must be like, why do other people know who you are? You know what I mean? Like, what's going on? And then you realize it's like, well, dude, I'm kind of like a unknown, or how should I say the word? I'm kind of like a somewhat known nobody, right? And then you get to that layer of, wow, so there must be something wrong with you. For you to have to be in such extreme situations, but you're not actually famous, there must be something wrong with you. This isn't real. You know what I mean? There's just so many like layers of just, again, and I've also said I've tried to phrase it as that, God, I know I'm complaining so much, right? I knew this was going to be long. Let me skip that first a bit. But I just realized it was so hard to like connect with people because my life has been so bizarre. Um, and that made me hate even more so again when I talked about on this last vlog that I did like last year about trying to be the best version of myself. Time out. I'm about to like sneeze or something. Okay. I didn't sneeze. Okay. Um, and I realized all these weird situations that then people think you're weird. there must be something wrong with you. Like, oh wait, you're actually sick. You know what I mean? I talked about that too when I was like meeting people in the hospital and they wouldn't know that I was sick, and I was just trying to help other people, and you just realize you have no peers, because then I realized that so many of these sick people were just so fucking miserable, and they were in this competition with each other, like who was the most sick. Like you can be almost as sick as me, but not more sick than me, because then you've taken away my identity. You know what I mean? And and it's just so hard to even to get to know someone that is sick, right? It's like this is like a peer thing. We've both been in the hospital a long time, but so many of these people, they wanted everyone else to be miserable, but not as miserable as them, because they want to win the most miserable award. They want you to be miserable with them, but it's just I've met so many fucking people, right? So hard to meet, and like again, this gets to giving up, because I've again, a lot of people say they're nice, but how many people go and talk to everyone all the time? I talk to people, okay, and I wrote this down an example, right? So I was with this homeless guy this summer, right? And he ended up coming to the bathroom with me, which was just weird and very fucking awkward, right? Because I was like, dude, right? I mean, I was like, dude, what's going on? But but I mean, while I was talking to this guy, the conversation was just going on, and I was just like, dude, this is. I started like, what happened? Like, I tried to give him some food, and I got him like some cereal and stuff like that. He's like, yeah, but I can't eat cereal because you didn't get me milk or something like that. And I was just like, and I was just like, I was thinking about that, and I was like, man, no one knows. Again, maybe it's like a selfish thing. Like I'm trying to do these nice things. No one's ever gonna know that I was with this homeless dude if I didn't just say this, right? I mean, and I was just like, and then he says like, but I can't have it if I don't have milk. And I was like, you know what? I took my cereal, and I was like, you know what, dude? I fucking tried to give you something. You know what I mean? I couldn't even go to the bathroom because it was just kind of weird. Dude just was like in there, like, dude, okay, he's just gonna come to them. Okay, bro, this conversation's going on for like a half hour now. I'm going to like leave. But it's just like, you know what? Why do I try to be nice to these people? Because, and you think every time you meet someone, it's like they always think you're a shitty person deep down, no matter like what I do. I'm just in such fucking bizarre situations with people, and it's more bizarre because I come off as disingenuous, because the convenience of perspective is that there must be something wrong with me, that I have such a bizarre notoriety that people know who I am, but I'm like not out to get anybody. So the convenience of perspective is there must be something. Like, no, this can't be like, you can't actually be sick. Like, look at these fuckers. This one dude, this one fucker in my video game video is like, oh, I don't think you're actually sick. You're just lying for attention, blah, blah, blah. I've never asked anyone for anything that I've been, since I've been sick, you know. And, so I start posting, you want blood tests? You want whatever? Here, dude, you want pictures? You think I purposely like pull my hair out or something? You think I've given myself rashes? It's like, okay, and and it's like, and here's the thing. I am a bitter person. I do hold grudges, right? I hold many grudges. I'm a very bitter person. And so for people like that, it's like, dude, how the fuck is this like my peer? Someone else is sick like me, like this. I don't care. This dude, you know what? This dude fucking dies. Who cares, dude? I don't fucking care. He's a piece of shit. I've had people God, people have like tried to befriend me, and they've told me that they're sick, and I found out that they were trying to get me to slip up or something and find out that I actually wasn't sick. And because this one dude, like he started posting, like, I know you're lying about all this stuff. Like I had like friended him on Facebook or something. Like, yeah, Facebook, right? He's like, I know you're lying. I'm like, dude, what is your deal? As on the post, like, oh, you think this is a lie? This is a lie? He's like, oh, what the fuck? Because I showed him like the blood test, and I was like, you are actually sick. He's like, okay, well, here's the thing. I actually thought you were lying this whole time. I actually am in New York. I have a really good doctor. We actually have a similar thing. I can fucking help you. And it's like, dude, no. And as a matter of fact, if you fucking die, good riddance, you piece of shit. You know what I mean? You're trying to throw a bad vibe on me. You've been following me, pretending you want to be my friend because you wanted me to slip up. Now you found out I'm actually, which I, again, whatever, dude, right? You know, it's like you think I'm lying. And it's like, here's the thing. Again, I am a bitter person, dude. Like, I'm not saying I'm perfect. I do have that. Those are my faults, right? And it's like, these kind of fucking people are my peers. These pieces of shit, you know? God, what are other weird things happen, dude? I again, speaking of girls, what I mean, again, socially, like giving up. God, half the time, I would go out with, guys want to go out like, oh, hey, Clayton's popular, help us get girls. It's okay, you like wingman for the guys, and then you're like, wow, like, dude, what's going on? Am I only winging for you? Like, is this just me helping you get girls? Like, well, what about me, dude? It's like, yeah, but you always get girls. It's like, what are you talking about? Like, so this is all just, I'm only ever going to help you. Like, there's this one dude, he was being, even a friend messaged me about it. Like, and here's the thing, this dude was a good looking dude, no homo, right? I could see how girls like him. He didn't need to be shady and weird like this. And I would see him, he would kind of like try to jab me a little bit, take jokes at my expense. And I kind of like, it got to the point that I thought something a little weird was going on, right? I was like, maybe I'm just, being a little hard on him, but he was always kind of trying to bag on me. He was like posting weird things on my Facebook, like, oh, you think Clayton's cool? You should like check me out, blah, blah, blah. And and God, there's this one girl, and I'm really picky with girls too. I mean, like people think I have sex with every girl. Like, nah, dude, like I'm picky. So, and of course, like I said, half the time that I meet girls, they think that, I said this too before I get into this. I've found that being popular basically as a guy kind of just makes you a girl. It means like there's always like random girls that want to have sex, but that doesn't mean that there's girls that you necessarily want to have sex with, if that makes sense. So take that for what it's worth, right? Like, I mean, geez, there's tons of girls like God. I had the girl recently, dude. She's like thinking I talk shit about her, blah blah blah. It's like, why the fuck would I be talking shit about you if we're gonna do something? Like, dude, you fucking, what's your fucking malfunction? Like, sometimes I don't know. I've been like using this term, the twilight zone. Like sometimes girls try to put you in the twilight zone. It's like, dude, I just gotta fucking block you, dude. Like, dude, how long have we known each other? You should know what I'm going through. Do you think I'm lying about like being in the hospital on and off? And I don't need these fucking negative vibes. Like, what are you trying to fucking fight about, right? But back to this dude, right? So yeah, no, I was real picky, and man, he made this one girl that I was just trying to get to know just totally fucking cut me off. And man, she was so fucking hot. And I was so pissed about that, right? And even a friend messaged me about it. He's like, man, what is this dude's problem? He's like, dude, you gotta check your friend, man. He's like, because this dude is not joking when he like says this shit, I don't think. And I'm like, yeah, dude, I'm like starting to wonder too. What do I find out? This fucking dude, and like I said, this is actually a good looking dude. Not like a bad looking dude. This dude had some fucking vendetta against me because apparently his grandpa died in the hospital, but when I was in the hospital, I didn't die. And so he had been going around trying to make me look bad to all these girls that whenever I would meet them behind my back, and he like made these people like hate me. And I was like, are you fucking crazy, dude? Like, you are mad because your grandpa died while in the hospital, but when I was in the hospital, I didn't die. Fucking nutcase, man. And I think about these fucking weirdos that I meet, dude. And I think about all these stupid, nice things that I do in my life because, I just think that, and again, they don't even fucking benefit me. I'm just doing them because I think they're the right thing to do, right? And you're like, man, dude, what am I doing with I just wasted my fucking life. And, you just start to give up. And I just realized I'm just so tired from being in the hospital all the time. Like life has just taken so much out of me. I've met so many people in my life. And again, when I say I meet a lot of people, this is not some fucking PUA thing where you're only talking to girls that you just want to fuck. I talk to everybody. I talk to people random on the street that come up to me. I don't have sex with everybody that like talks to me. I don't talk to people for money. I don't talk to people just for social gain. I talk to people because that's just who I am. But I realized no matter what I would do, there's a potential convenience of perspective to think that I was a bad person, and there just seems to be nothing that I can ever do about it. And because of health and everything else, it just has made me give up on life. That's what I'm getting at. And a lot of times you just start talking to people, and it's just like sometimes you can feel like, God, I don't know, for this girl, do I have to? You almost start to like flirt with people and be playful because it's like, and this probably makes me kind of sound kind of shady, right? But you start to be a little bit playful and flirty because it's like, well, if I don't at least be a little bit playful and flirty, the girl's not even going to talk to me. You know what I mean? Because it's just like you realize I have to be this like Chad dude, right? I can't have normal conversation. And then when you do have, and then if someone does trust you, again, girl wise, to have a deep conversation, then they think they're like, wow, I never would have expected to have a deep conversation with you. I never would have thought you had this kind of life. And they're like, wow, I love you. Like, I don't use easy words, right? Not even just like a girl, like, oh my God, I love you. Like this girl, she's like, oh my God, I love you. And she's pretty hot, right? So she's always saying this bullshit, whatever. That girl's, whatever. I'm just talking about this girl that just texted me recently. Not one of those kind of, oh, I love you. Whatever, when you're talking to a friend or whatever, or whatever. um, um, but like like a real I love you. Like, God, I mean, I have so many fucking words. There's that girl that fucking randomly just flew to fucking America from across the country. Like, whatever. Let's not even get into that fucking story because she like fucking like loves me or some bullshit. Like, dude, what the fuck are you doing, dude? Like, we got a deep. I can have a deep conversation. I can care about someone without loving them, and that's like weird for people too. So it's like, wow. Again, then you get then they have another layer of, wow, Clayton, you fucking suck. You are a disingenuous person somehow. It's like, dude, you think I'm a shitty person because I'm capable of having a deep conversation with you without I'm capable of caring about you without like loving you. I'm capable of having deep conversations with people without it being any more than that potentially, just because I don't know. And I just realized, whatever, dude. My life is just it had gotten so fucking weird. I'd stopped, I barely ever got to talk to girls anymore. I've reached that point where it's almost just like, it's a very fine line of you need to be able to objectify someone to, fuck them properly. And but then you start to get where it's like, man, I get so afraid because it's like I want to know that the person is cool enough because most people, I've said this before, are not hot enough for me to want to have sex with. So you want to be cool enough. It's like such a weird like line. You want to be cool enough too to know that it's going to be a good experience. You want to like have a good vibe going. But then I get like so afraid because it's like, dude, I just can't meet people that are willing to be cool. I'm gonna try to explain. It's like, dude, take it for what it is. Like, live life. I'm not going to ever judge you in like a negative. I'm not. There's never going to be an initial negative judgment. I'm not coming into this thinking anything bad. So do me the same thing, and you find these people like, oh, they always thought it's almost supposed to be a compliment, right? Like, I hear so many times, it's like, wow, for so long I thought you were such a huge asshole, and now I know you're a good person. And you would hear those things that for so many times it was nice to hear, but then eventually it happens so much, it's like, man, is everyone just negative deep down? They have this negative deep down. They want everyone else to be shit, and it just started becoming a turnoff, right? And I don't know. I just started giving up on more and more life. That's just basically what I'm getting at. And I've just been red pilled. So I feel like, man, like, what is the point of even talking to people? What is the point of my life? And again, I don't really feel like killing myself because that's not really my vibe. Because I don't really, it's not my vibe to kill myself, dude. Right? But it's like no matter what I would, it just seems it's so no matter what you do, you're always a bad person. It's like made me like give up. It's like, man, I don't want to fight to show I'm a good person. No matter what I do, you're gonna think I'm full of myself. People think, I just think, and again, this isn't like I'm an amazing person in a sense because I do hold grudges. I am bitter. So a lot of these people that throw negative vibes at me constantly, dude, like I said, if they fucking got ran over and are dead, who cares, right? I mean, I'm not fucking Jesus, right? Like, fuck you. You're trying to make the world a worse place, like making up shit about me. I have fucking stalkers, dude. I've had fucking stalkers. I'm fucking crazy. Do you know people fucking this fucking dudes like I try to find out whoever knows you and I try to like say shit about you. Like, what the fuck? Who are you? Just random message. I told a friend one time I was getting when a lot of that catfishing stuff was going on for so long, I was getting so many fucking messages from people that apparently hated me, just blaming me for things that I never did. I seriously read this message from this girl. I don't remember exactly what she said, but I just read it. I just like sat down. I don't know if I read it on my phone or the computer. And I just went into my basement stairs and I just sat down and you start rubbing your legs and you're like, you had to like take a deep swallow and like a tear came out and I'm like, oh my God, what is wrong with my life, dude? I have like thousands of messages technically, right? Just I get so many messages from people who just say how much they fucking hate me like every fucking day. Someone is blaming me for something, even if it's not me. And then dude, you have like people from the captain, like they'll like make an account of you but with like a space where it's not actually your space and or like one little thing a little bit different so then they think other people are so they make it actually think that it's actually you and just I've just had such a fucking weird life that I was like, man, I just I feel like man, I just like I just kind of felt like I give up. I go out I still go out a lot, but I barely ever talk to girls. You know, just starting a conversation. That's why I was like, you know what? I almost want to be such like dude, you get to the point like, man, do I just is the only value that I have for other people is sexual? Because it's like, you know, it's like, let's be honest, you know, I'm so totally fine having a deep conversation, but if I have a deep conversation with you, you probably are going to say you love me for some reason, which is retarded. and, or maybe you just think I'm a shitty person. Like, and that's like, but it's like, do I want to have sex with someone if they think I'm a shitty person for some reason? And it's like, I just, I don't know, dude. My life has become so fucking weird that I've just stopped caring and I don't really do a lot anymore. Again, these are deep conversations that you know, you'd have to watch my other two videos to really get it. I feel like, you know, it's like one of those things like there's like the red pill and the blue pill in life. And I was just fed the red pill so fucking much. I was like, dude, I already took the red pill. Stop. I took the fucking red pill. Don't feed it to me again. I know how life is. You know, like doctor the doctor's like, no, take another fucking red pill, Clay. And it's like, no, I already know what life is like. Stop. Don't show me. I know what everybody's fucking like, right? So I don't know, man. It sucks, dude. But it's like I don't even know what I'm doing with life. And like I said, you know, it's almost like I can't kill myself because I don't think anything's waiting for me. So it's like, you know, you just get those moral victories, like, you know, just you live life. And it's like the moral victory of being who you thought was the best person. And I've said this before, though, moral victories don't matter to anybody but you most of the time. That's why you think about all these crazy things I've done. I've had a shitty life. I've had a lot of health stuff, and I've kept myself in shape. That's a huge moral victory. But the thing is, I'm not famous or anything. So it's like, well, how did you do this and you're not actually famous? Like, shouldn't you be more known? Yeah, it's like nothing. I have another girl, dude. And this girl, she's fucking dated like Hollywood dudes. I don't want to say because I try to be vague when I talk about this stuff, you know, because I don't want to put other people out there. But, you know, she was even like, you know, Clay, she's like, one of the problems is, dude, well, I don't, she didn't say dude, but she's like, you know, it looks weird for someone to look like you do, to not have as many like followers on Instagram, to not actually be famous, to have these things happening to. It makes you look weird. Do you know what I mean? And I'm like, you know, she's just straight up with me. She's like, dude, it's like someone like you should probably actually, you know, be more famous, dude. She's like, so because of that, you look weird. She's like, I'm just being honest with you, you know. And you know, that's has been my experience. It makes you come off as disingenuous, right? But I don't know. I'm just complaining so much. You got to watch these other two vlogs that I've done to really know, understand the perspective that I'm coming at. But just, you know, I just don't know what I'm doing with life. I don't know. I feel like, what is the point of anything that I do? So I said, I don't like looking at the vlog because, dude, God, I'm so, you know, health is not good. I should probably do a real health vlog, but maybe I'll do it when I do the next real fitness video. I know I've lost weight this year because I just have not been able to keep it up with health. Um, sucks. And so I just hate looking at myself because man, my hair. Oh God, I wish I could do something to get all this lupus and stuff better. I know my doctor was actually telling me he was like, you know, I feel bad for you that you're going through all this all the time. He's like, you know, I'll give you PRP treatments at cost for me if you want to try. He's like, but the thing is, you know, PRP isn't really tested and people like you with your amount of health problems, so it's like a shot in the dark. He's like, you could even try this laser stuff I got. You know what I mean? He's like, but again, it's like, they don't really test these things on people with your amount of health problems, so it's kind of just like a shot in the dark. But I don't know. It's kind of weird because I'm talking about a lot how I look, right? Because again, it's like very, I know no one would even remotely care about me if I didn't look like how I looked, right? So, which I don't even like how I look, which is the most ridiculous thing. So it's kind of like, but I try to fake it, right? Because I gotta hope that, you know what, maybe I'll meet someone. Because here's the thing, I want to meet someone cool, but at the same time, I know I've tried having sex with girls that I'm not super horny about. It's just not me. I've known, I can't really say that too, because if she knows it, technically, I don't want to say all those things. God, I've had a weird life. It's crazy to think that I know, like, technically people that have been in movies and everything like that, right? And just so many ridiculous things. But I just don't really enjoy. I don't want to have sex with someone that I don't really like. You know what I mean? It's just so hard for me. So it's like I know too. I know when I meet people, you probably really don't care who I am. So I know that you got to look cool, and you just got to hope that someone actually knows that you're not out to get them. But because of my life, it makes it seem like that a lot of times. This was the longest vlog I've ever done. And I had to do it multiple times because this fucking camera keeps shutting off. The end. You know, another thought I really wanted to drive home was, kind of like a too long, didn't read, didn't watch. Just that thought of, imagine, you grow up with like such a shitty life, right? Being abused, just having such a fucking shitty life, man. Like girls telling you're ugly, getting rocks on your face, and then you grow up and those fucking girls and people want to be your fucking friend. They want to fuck you. Like I just want you to think about. I think about that sometimes when I'm out, like just walking around. And again, sometimes good things do happen to me now, but again, well, yeah, I guess someone have sex with you. That's potentially pretty fucking cool, right? But think about how fucking crazy that is. I just think about, and then you think that people potentially still might think you're a bad person, right? That's just so fucking crazy to me, dude. Again, just think about how fucking crazy that is. Like, girls think you're fucking ugly one year. They fucking tell everyone in class you're ugly. People just fucking hate you for years. And then the next moment, you're fucking cool. People want to fucking hang out with you. They want to do stuff with you. You're so popular that people fucking will make up lies about you to hate you. And when I think about those things, and I just think, man, well, what the fuck is the point of my life? That's kind of like a good thought to end on, maybe.